Well, it started. In the next couple hours, we're going to get the massive balancing rework that is coming from Agamatsu's suggestions, and the mage genocide will be upon us. Now, anyone who's played the game semi-regularly, semi-comp, can tell you that mage builds have been a problem for the better part of 6 months. And in typical Deepwoken fashion, nothing is done until a prominent figure of the community says something. Now, mage builds need a nerf. A lot of you are talking about these changes like it's going to be a gut, when really, your build is just being returned to a state that is even semi-balanced. However, I don't think that these changes are really the right way to go. We are going to get what is more or less a universal damage reduction nerf comparable to the amount of modifiers used. Now, the game is all focused on the Chime Discord, the Chime testers. They are the ones that control the balancing. Even though Chime means nothing, you can easily climb in Chime if you really care, and Chime plays nothing like the overworld, and the overworld plays nothing like the depths. But these people need to maintain their egos, so that's just the system we have. It's the hand we've been dealt. A couple weeks ago, I made a video talking about essentially now the topic of the community, which is mages are broken. My suggestion was a little different. If you go into a gank and you fire off a massive mantra and you hit, let's say, 6 people, that mantra does 60% reduced damage. That way, mages still maintain their viability in comp, but they aren't completely ruining the experience of average players in ganks. Instead now, this change is going to serve as a massive nerf to the attunements that rely on modifiers such as Flame Charm, Shadow, and Frost Draw, and it's almost going to be a shadow buff to Iron Sing, Thundercall, and Gale. Iron Sing, Thundercall, and Gale, your main damaging mantras, they don't need to be modified at all. So those mages are still going to be incredibly broken. They are still going to dominate the game. Whereas the other mages like Fan the Flames, Shadow, the ones you see regularly, are now going to pretty much fall to irrelevancy. Just because at any given point they are doing significantly reduced damage. Hey, it is what it is. It's kind of just the hand we've been dealt. That's just how the balancing in this game works. Because Deepwoken suffers from incredibly short-sighted balancing. Typically, with the Dan VR effect is what I've coined it. I will make a suggestion or I'll make a video speaking about something like this. Everyone will tell me I'm wrong, and then about a month later it gets added to the game. Because for whatever reason, I seem to be 3 to 4 weeks ahead of everyone else. Alright. This change is not going to really make any significant progress in the game, because the core mechanics of the game are still the same. And I know after the video's been unpaused and we hear the greatest straw man argument of all time, oh, 2 things are broken, so we shouldn't nerf either? What I've been trying to convey for literal years is that the core fundamental gameplay features are the problem. Tempo is not a good system. Reservoir is a far more comprehensive system when it comes to balancing the game. 2 years of development went into making Deepwoken with Reservoir in mind. Old Woken, verse 1. Reservoir is what really anchored the game in being even semi-balanced. If you want to be a mage, you spec into intel, willpower, and charisma. Because of this, you have far higher reservoir, so you can spam mantras. Inevitably, your reservoir ran out, so you had to go an M1 and parry trait against a no attunement. On the flip side of that no attunement build doesn't have the reservoir to spam mantras, but they're far tankier, and their M1s do far more damage. So when it gets to that point in the fight, where you have to get close quarters, M1 battle between a mage and the no attunement, now the pendulum swings, the no attunement build is in favor for winning. It made sense. With tempo, everyone can spam mantras. Mages, no attunement, it doesn't matter. Everyone can spam mantras. Especially mages, because they never run out. You will never run out of ether. You can just continuously spam. That's the real problem. But hey, no one wants to admit that. No one wants to really tackle that problem because, of course, We gotta keep our egos intact. Next big issue comes with the actual traits of the game. Song Chant gives you 5% scaling on your mantras and 5% mantra pen. If you go 90 intelligence and 5 Song Chant, you will get 70% mantra pen base, not including any of the multipliers, which you will inevitably stacking. You start at 70% mantra pen. And you'd think because of that, you're far less tanky. You're not. You can easily get to 550 HP with solid resistances, because Shrine of Order breaks the game. There is no real downside to Shrine of Order. What? You get a talent that you can re-roll at any time you want into something like Simple that has no negative side effect post Power 20? Wow. What a trade-off. We will continue to see the balancing of the game go in the direction of, I guess, stomping out the meta for the week, but leaving the core mechanics of the game untouched. So a week from now, we're going to see the meta re-emerge in the form of a new build, which I guarantee you is going to be Iron Sing Gale or Thunder Mage, and the cycle will repeat. I've tried. I've gotten to a point where I don't even care about the balancing. I don't even care about making videos like this anymore because it's just a complete fucking lost cause. It's like watching a train speeding towards a brick fucking wall like a Looney Tune cartoon, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. I'm not a developer, so I find it incredibly hard to believe that I'm the only one that can recognize the bigger picture here. These builds exist, these metas exist, because the very foundation of which they are built is shaky. The game is built on sand. It is constantly shifting, and it is near impossible to balance properly because the actual core mechanics do not allow you to balance it properly. That's just kind of the game we have now.